is 330 islands, purest blue waters, white sandy beaches. We have waterfalls, deep lagoons. We are renowned to be the friendliest island in the Pacific. Fiji, the way the world should be. But we're going to talk about something that's so controversial, and it's a taboo subject in this country. Full stop. Nobody wants to talk about it. Fiji is in that pathway of trafficking drugs, especially crystal meth or cocaine. The demand is to New Zealand, Australia, and America. However, we become collateral damage here in the country because the demand is increasing here as well. We do not have the system in place to help the country, to help the public. Fiji and drugs do not go together. And I am gonna lobby and I'm gonna advocate for one person, one family, one community, one nation, and that's my nation, Fiji. I was born here in Fiji. Both my parents are Indigenous Fijian. I'm the eldest and I've got two younger siblings. But my dad had a dark side. Alcohol was his friend. We live up on the hill at home. We look down, if he steps out of the taxi and he's standing, it's gonna be a good night. But if he fell out of the taxi, we had to run and hide. Home became a war. You sit in a room and all you could hear is thump, thump. Domestic violence was just another part of life. Alcoholism, so used to it. So at 13, my parents saying, you know, you're gonna go overseas, go to Sydney. And I thought, exciting, you know, I've never left Fiji. And Sydney or Australia was something I always seen in the movies. I didn't know that I needed a visa to stay in the country. So the family I lived with, there was an extra mouth to feed. They didn't prepare for that. So they started to isolate me. I did couch surfing with whoever would open their door if there was a room on the floor. And then after a while, I just ended up on the streets. King's Cross during the 80s and the 90s, that was the drug capital of Australia. Whatever drug you wanted, you can get it on the street. Ice was my drug of choice. I was going through so much pain and I needed something to mask and take away the pain I was going through. I knew if I stayed on the street any longer, I wouldn't survive anymore. And then I met this young man. He was 18 and I was 17 at the time. He was the escape I was looking for. You know, being teenagers and everything, we literally created a family the best that we can. There was a knock at a door in the middle of the night. When you hear a knock in the middle of the night, you know it's not going to be good. They say, we're here from the immigration. We're here to detain you. I was processed as a criminal. So they fingerprinted me, strip searched me, put me in a cell. So I got on this cell and I'm looking around. It's a 10-foot cell. And I just got on my hands and knees and I prayed, Lord, if you help me out of this mess, I promise that I'll give my life for just one person, one young person not to go through what I've gone through. I was there for about a month or so, And then they released me into the community on my own recognizance. I started a community service certificate, and out of that was a component to do volunteer work. So one of my first role I went into was New South Wales Corrective Services, working with the Probation and Parole Office. From Corrective Services, the police offered me a position to work as the Ethnic Community Liaison Officer, to be the bridge between the community and the police. I was trying to find a way of how do we break the cycles of what everybody was going through. A friend of mine actually showed me the Drug Free World pack. The Truth About Drugs booklet, you open it up, it actually takes you on a journey. It looks into why people take drugs. How does it work? How does drug affect the body? And how does it affect the mind? DVD spoke volume for me, because it was like the first time I'm actually seeing that in reality, and it hit home. It literally hit home for me. Then I started to see the news that was coming from Fiji, the drug epidemic that was being experienced by the people.
Today, have the Fiji Islands become a highway for drug traffickers?
What I was able to gather was all the same thing. We do have a problem in the country, and it's getting bad. So I need to go back. I pictured Fiji as it was in 1987. Now you walk down into a streets, or to a community, people will come up and say, do you want white or green? And you'll just think, what world have I walked into? This is the main port here in Suva. These ferries, they literally 24/7, they are literally on the go. So we get people movements happening all the time, drugs trafficked through here, and at the same time, we don't have a monitoring system. Domestically, we have this crisis. We have a demand for these hard drugs, and it's affecting and making such a huge devastation or impact for us here in Fiji. We knew that the problem was there, but nobody was talking openly about it. So if I can share my testimony, if I can share my wounds, whether it be for a young person, a family, a country as a whole, if I can be the voice, so be it. So when I kick it off, there was only 2 or 3 of us as volunteers. I'll give you this booklet. It's on drugs, love. We were going out and we're sharing the information. There's actually a website on there. Go in there and have a look. It's got videos in there. So within months of doing that, police, came on board. They started to say, oh, okay, this is exciting material. How can we best use it? This booklet, everyone's going to walk away with. So this pack has got all the different information that you need to know about drugs, whether it be from marijuana, from the street name. They would take out the materials, share it with the community members, building their bridge, allowing the community to come forward. It was the greatest partnership I could see, because you would get people, so Drug Free World work with the police? I said, yes, we do. So we were literally partners from the beginning. A few months after that, I did get my first threats. One of the biggest threats that I remember receiving was from the cartel. I knew then. I knew what we were doing, our campaign, was actually rattling a few cages, ruffling a few feathers. Did that stop me? Heck no. I came purely for the sense of serving my country. So whether it came with a threat or whatnot, it gave me fuel. We started the journey of campaigning and everything else, and we were receiving threats. It was a regular thing. It was confirmation that we're actually doing something right. We couldn't keep up with the demand of wanting more information. The request was coming from everywhere, but most importantly was the school, because parents and teachers, they could see the problem that was happening in the school. They couldn't control it anymore. We're currently at Silver Bus Stand. As you can see behind me, this is where all the school kids come from, whatever different schools. So a lot of these young people, they get the exchange here at the market or in the Silver Bus Stand, and they take it into the schools, into the community, whatever the case may be. There's over 100,000 school children from primary to high school in this country. And we want to actually go reach out to every one of those students. Our very first school was Super Grammar High School.
Super Grammar School is just like any other school. We've got drug issues. When our children are brought and when we ask them about taking drugs, it's very hard for them to open up.
I'm talking and I'm sharing this with you. I can feel someone in this space right now have gone through what I've gone through, can relate. When I was on ice, I don't think straight. Distorted thinking. Man, it played with my mind. Put me in positions, in places where I didn't even dream of. It planted the seed for them to know more. They wanted to learn more. They're quite excited about these materials because they've never seen anything like this.
Through the personal presentation today, it has empowered them to make the right decision. And we are looking forward that grammar will be drug-free.
Bula, we're at Kavanangasau in Singatoka. This area is renowned for planting and cultivating cannabis. So we're really keen to come out and talk to the student and hear what they're saying and how we can actually share the factual information on drugs. On the first page, he talks about the drug culture globally. Do you know there's over 208 million people that take drugs every day? You need to educate yourself. You need to prepare yourself. You have to remember, consequences is yours. So today we are at Jasper Williams. There's approximately about 670 students in this school. And it's an all-girls school. There's been some issues in the past and recently as well about drugs being brought into the school. So for us, we're just here to share the factual information about drugs, and I'm sure it's going to generate some questions. You watch it on TV, you watch it on the music clip and everything, and it looks so nice to go into the drug scene, the party scene. No, if you're caught, it's literally you lose your liberty, you lose your family. When they start asking the question, they see the pictures, what reality looks like, it stops them and saying, oh, okay, this is not where I want to be. So we went from so many schools, one after the other. So when you get this booklet, it's gonna give you the street names for all the other drugs. Too many drugs out there will send you into a different person. We just can't keep up with the demand right now.
We'd like to thank Kalesi for sharing her story with us. She said the real facts about drugs, and some students have really changed after that lecture.
I've learned today that before whatever I do, I need to think before I do something.
I'm not gonna be tempted by my peers. I'm not gonna actually want to experiment. I will look after my health because I also want to live a long life and actually pursue my dreams.
And then from the school, led on to the community groups. When we go out and we do the outreach, we talk to the people. They talk directly to us. They support and they want to do something different for their own community. Fighting against drugs, they are willing to do that. Those who were trained were given the educator's kit, you know, the lesson plan, the booklets, the posters, and the DVD. Not everybody likes to read, but this video will actually take you to see what it looks like. They came to me afterwards and said, can you come to my community? Can you come to my, church?
Those materials are the truth about drugs, and we need to know it. To have an actual person driving it, that's great, because we can do a lot of things together. This is the only way we can handle this. It's everybody's business.
There is no limitation to what we were doing. The call came in, we went. So there was nothing that would hinder sharing the information. Bullasia, welcome to the Northern Crime Prevention Carnival, a youth crime prevention project, really, between the community, business owners, yes, and the police. We've been able to give out Truth About Drugs booklets to families, everyone. It's been huge. But we haven't done enough campaign. We haven't reached every corner of Fiji. If I can motivate and mobilize the whole nation, my job is done. The campaign that we've done so far has just passed 100,000. You can only reach so many, but if you have the media on your back, you are covering all areas. That platform is the most powerful. If I can, get on it. There's 3 pillars here in Fiji that you need to make sure you target.
We invited Drug Free World Fiji to come and talk to our staff, and they delivered a really inspiring presentation. Kalesi divided us into groups, and we were asked to come up with some solutions for how to curb the drug problem in Fiji. Being a media organization, we believe that it is our responsibility to be assisting or supporting in providing awareness to our community.
So I was given an opportunity to speak on the breakfast show on the Fiji TV. So this is the material that comes from Drug Free World. So when you open it up, it actually got different booklets in it. What it is, it's factual information of all the different kind of drugs. We would hit the TV one week, the newspaper the next week, radio the following week. So we just alternate and rotate. Keeping the information, the campaign alive each week. There was always something on those media. We were campaigning through the media, through the community, through the schools, you name it. We started building partnership and collaboration with different ministries, different government ministries. We never recognized and acknowledged we had a problem, so obviously we haven't opened up that dialogue. Second of all, we have never had a narcotics policy for the country. There has to be a recognition by whole of government.
I'm coming here and I'm just going to deliver. I need you guys to take it to the next level. We need to be, as leaders, we need to be championing this. Yes, you do.
I was invited to sit as a committee member of the Fiji National Drug Harm Reduction Task Force. That was made up of different ministries to look at the framework of how we can do this as a whole nation together. We do not have a drug policy for this country. That needs to be established. So through the committees, we formulate this draft document. Okay, this here is the National Narcotics Strategy for the Republic of Fiji. This is how we actually formulate the drug policy for the country. The 3 pillars were the demand reduction, supply reduction, and harm reduction. And then it actually pulls out who or which ministry actually sits to look after, who has the responsibility for that. So with all the campaigns and everything that's been happening and the partnership that's been formed, this is, one of the greatest things that's come out of the fight against drugs in Fiji.
Kalesi's work in the drug awareness space is for us in the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, and as a whole of government, I think it's very essential. Not everybody has that guts to go up and stand and do this.
We had invited Kalesi to be part of the interagency. She's been doing an amazing work since then, creating awareness to not only members of the public, but other government agencies as well.
What I love most is her passion. Not only passion, but perhaps patriotism as well, This makes life easier for us and makes that working relationship so special as well. It is not only a whole of government, but a whole of nation, whole of community approach. And if we continue with that approach, surely we will succeed.
I remember my prayer that I did in that cell all those years ago. If I can help one person, my job is done. Yeah, I never dreamt of moving a country. And I might say that was just an accidental opportunity, but I grabbed it with both hands. Then I thought, you can't stop me. I was born in this country, I'm serving it, and I'll give my life just to help my country.